What if I told you that right now someone on your team, or maybe you, walked into work today carrying something nobody else knows about? Maybe a sleepless night, call from a doctor, child who wasn't well, a relationship fracturing quietly behind the scenes. And they showed up anyway. Because that's what we do in education, isn't it? We show up. Here's the question I want to ask today, the one I don't think we talk about. What does it cost us when we carry all of that and we don't acknowledge it, not even to ourselves? In this video, I want to talk about what we do when life outside school is hard, how we can manage that stress without falling apart, and how we can still show up in the way that matters the most. And that's for our team, our pupils, our own family, and for ourselves. My name is Rowena Hicks. I spent over 30 years in schools, a teacher, Senko, deputy head, and I burnt out. I'm now an accredited coach and author, and I'm passionate, absolutely, to help educators to understand themselves well enough to keep going and even, dare I say it, to thrive rather than just to survive. A nursery leader I worked with recently told me something that I can't seem to shift. She'd spent the night in hospital with her child. The child ended up okay, but it had been a frightening, exhausting night, and she hadn't slept. But the next morning, she got dressed and went into work. Does that resonate? She didn't tell anyone. She didn't want to complicate the day. Her team needed her to be steady. Her children needed her to be present. So she decided she'd just get through it. When I asked her how that went, she told me she felt like she was behind glass all day. She was there, but not there. Does any of that sound familiar to you? Let me tell you what the research tells us about this. Psychologists call it cognitive load, the mental bandwidth we have available at any one time. When something is happening at home, especially that we haven't processed, it doesn't disappear when we walk through the school door or the nursery door. It sits in the background, quietly using up that bandwidth. In 2021, there was a study in the journal of, I think, Frontiers in Psychology. They found that emotional suppression, trying to push feelings down and just get on with it, actually increases stress hormones. It doesn't reduce them. The effort of not feeling something costs us energy we don't have spare. In education, where we're constantly reading, we're reading the room, we're reading the emotional state of the children, we're reading the emotional state of our team, that has a real impact. We're less able to notice, less able to respond, less able to be the person we want to be. That nursery leader I told you about, she wasn't failing. She was doing what most of us do. But understanding why we feel behind glass, if you like, is the first step to doing something about it. So, what can we actually do? Can I offer you 3 really simple things? The first one is this: notice. Before you walk into work, take 30 seconds in the car park before you get out the car and ask yourself, what am I carrying today? You don't have to fix it. You don't have to share it. Sharing it is a bonus if you can, but name it to yourself. Research on what's called affect labeling suggests that simply naming an emotion reduces its intensity. You're not dismissing what's hard, you're acknowledging it. So it doesn't ambush you in the same way. The second tip is to give yourself permission to be human at work. I'm not talking about oversharing or being a drain. You don't have to tell your whole team everything, but you might just say, I've had a tough night. I might be a bit slower today. Bear with me. That kind of honesty doesn't undermine your authority. It builds trust. It's vulnerability. It's powerful. People follow leaders who are real. And the third thing is this: Your full presence is a gift you give your team and your pupils. Not a performance of presence, but genuine presence. And on the days when you can't fully give it, that's okay too. But when you bring conscious awareness to how you are, you make better choices. Choices about what you need, and maybe choices about what others might need from you. I want to ask you something now, and I mean it genuinely. What are you carrying into work this week? What's going on at home that no one else knows about? What's quietly sitting in the background, taking up space? You might not be able to change it today, but just taking a moment to notice, to acknowledge it, is a powerful place to start. We know that we can't pour from empty, don't we? You can't show up fully for others if you haven't even checked in with yourself. That nursery leader I mentioned, she's doing that now every morning. Before she walks in through the door, she asks herself, how am I really? It takes 30 seconds. She says it's changed everything. If this has resonated with you today, I'd love to know. Drop me a comment below with one word, just one word that describes what you're carrying this week. You don't have to explain it, just name it. Because when we name things, we start to take our power back. If you want more support with this, with understanding yourself better self-awareness, managing the stress that comes with working in education, learning to thrive rather than just to survive. Everything I do is over on my website at rowenahicks.com. Thank you so much for being here today, and please take good care of yourself.